Let's go, let's go!
Welcome to Straight Shooting with the Boys. It's the preview edition. Got Justin Lopez, known as J-Lo, and myself, Diaz. We're going to get into some NFL predictions, NFL award predictions, 49er predictions, 49 award predictions. We're going to go deep. So let's see, and we'll go into the Sunday game and see what that looks like for us as well this week, and which we'll have a live stream. I told a few of you guys I'm going to blast it out to everybody. Have a couple of guests, see how that goes. All right, let's get into it.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, both of us just got off of work last night, so look a little tired. Leave it in the comments.
Yeah. Our hair and makeup people aren't on set today, so
Yeah, they struggle today, just as bad as we are. All right, let's get into this. So we got some NFL award predictions. Who do you think is going to be the MVP of the league this year?
So I know everybody watched the game yesterday, and I think people are flipping out about
I was
that.
surprised that first half.
Yeah, I mean, I think there might be a few overreactions there, though. That being said, I do think that it's going to be Josh Allen. The way that he played, the way that he looked, I mean, that was insane. And the Rams are not no scrub defense. That's a
Super Bowl winning team.
Yeah, and their defense hasn't changed very much from that year. So, I mean, the way Allen operated in that offense, the way he ran the ball, he looks motivated. He looks like a man with something to prove.
Yeah.
So I don't see Rodgers going 3 straight. But and you know, Rodgers is dealing with that whole issue. He doesn't really have any weapons. If he pulls it off this year, that's props to that dude, man. Oof.
I heard Lazard is injured too?
Yeah, he's injured. He's not going to play this week. So, I mean, they're literally running with, like, rookies and backups on that team right now. And maybe, like, 60-year-old. Yeah, 60-year-old Randall Cobb. But, yeah, so I think Josh Allen's going to take it. You know, I think he already started with that exclamation point, and I don't see it slowing down the rest of the season, to be honest.
Yeah, there was a point last night. He was like 23 or 25 or something like that, and his 2 incompletions were interceptions.
Yeah,
in the first half,
and they weren't even his fault. Like they were like just freak situations that happened.
Weird plays that happened.
Yeah.
There was another stat I saw. Jalen Ramsey was targeted 7 times.
He allowed a perfect passer rating.
6 completions. For $120 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs made that man his
He let him know about it too.
Yeah, he did. He gave him that. He gave him that tap. So, but yeah, dude, that was bad. But that's been talked about. I think Jalen Ramsey's good when he's good, but I've seen that dude get worked, and I think, like I said, with Allen being able to do what he does with his feet, it was a matter of time that Diggs was gonna do what he does. You know what I mean? So
let's say 3 of the last 4 games, he's got burnt for a bomb.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he probably would have got burnt in the 49er game if Jimmy G wasn't hanging on by a thread. I don't know.
Yeah. If his arm wasn't put together with fucking duct tape
and super glue.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. There was one play in the Super Bowl where he got yanked to the side, but it didn't get called, so it's a touchdown.
There was a few games that didn't get called in the Super Bowl, but we'll
that's true.
That both hold still sticks in my head.
Yeah, I agree with you though. I think it's Josh Allen's trophy to lose until he shows me he ain't gonna do what he did last night, on a consistent basis. I think he's MVP. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to get boredom. Like, they're not going to vote for him just out of pure boredom.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen's got all the hype right now, so I think
I think Josh Allen had a chance to win it last year. I think if the game doesn't go the way it goes, the way it did, I don't know. Josh Allen looked like he was my favorite last year too, to be honest. I think Rodgers gets it just out of, like you said, out of boredom. They're just like, oh, let's just give it to the guy people expect.
Yeah, I think also he had a lot of media buzz around him, even though it was negative buzz with COVID and stuff.
No,
buzz, and sometimes
buzz is buzz in the NFL. Sometimes,
whether it's good or bad publicity, publicity is publicity. So
yeah,
I think he had a lot going for him, on top of a great season.
Yeah,
I think this year is definitely Josh Allen's lose. I think we'll get into that in a minute actually, because that's one of the next categories. But going back into these NFL web predictions, let's go to Offensive Player of the Year. Who do you think that's going to be?
So I think, and I hate that I keep going AFC with this, but I think Josh Herbert, man. I think that Chargers team is poised to be like, and they're going to be they're going to pop up again on my predictions, but I think they're going to come out and they're going to be like, again, I think he has something to prove, and that offense, I mean, the weapons he has and just the defense that he has on top of that, like I think he's gonna go out there and he's gonna surprise some people. I was kind of torn, honestly. I was gonna throw a flyer prediction on the MVP and say Josh Herbert, but I'm like, I think they're gonna go Josh Allen just because of his.
Now that you mentioned that, I had a surprise pick too. Actually, some people probably will think of him as a game manager. I think my surprise pick for MVP of the league is going to be Derek Carr. I think he's got the best offense in the AFC.
Oh, for sure. He has the best weapons.
Yeah, he's got the best receiver in the NFL. He's got one of the best receiving tight ends in the NFL. I wouldn't say the best all around, but one of the best receiving tight ends. And then you got Hunter Renfrow, is just like he's a dog, man. He's that
Amendola, Wes Walker reincarnated guy.
And then you got Josh Jacobs in the back.
Yeah,
I think people are sleeping on him because of the defense. The Raiders have a not known defense. I think that's going to surprise people too.
Yeah,
I think Derek Carr could be the one person that could surprise the league and take that trophy from Josh Allen.
Yeah,
but going into Offensive Player of the Year, I think it's good. My pick is also an AFC. Jamar Chase. That dude is a beast.
He's a stud, man.
And you got Joey Burrow, who's a great quarterback, going to put it on the mark every single time.
Yeah.
Whether he's getting hit in the face or not, he's going to get the opportunities. They have the buzz around him because they went to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I think he could be it. But also, injuries play a part in this too, so we'll see what happens. I think barring injury, he's going to be scary this year.
Yeah. And if I had to go like a wide receiver, because I was kind of torn, it was going to be Raiders and it was going to be Devontae Adams just because he has Carr and not that Carr's better than Rodgers, obviously not, but because Carr is the type of quarterback he is, that game manager quarterback, I think getting the ball in Devontae Adams' hands is going to be their goal. So, I mean, he's going to have, I'm sure, crazy numbers, crazy stuff. Barring injury, he's going to be killing that offense. So,
I think he's got something to prove to playing out Rodgers for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to have something to prove too. I can see that for sure. So, going into the last one, well, hold on, before we scoop, do you think there's anybody in the 49ers team that can make a run for Offensive Player of the Year?
A run for Offensive Player. So Debo, I mean, if we utilize Debo the way that we did last year, he comes out and he does what he does, and the Niners perform, which I think we will. He has to be in the talk. Like there's people that talk about him being the best offensive player in the league right now. So the fact that he's exciting and we have to get that type of buzz that the NFL enjoys, which I think we do usually. So I mean, I think if there's going to be anybody on the Niners that's going to push that, it could definitely be Debo.
Yeah, I think it has to be. I think he's the only person on the offensive side that's has the national notoriety.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
On top of that, he gets people excited to play when he plays football. So I think he's the only person.
Yeah.
Last one, Defensive Player of the Year. I think we're probably both going to be thinking the same person, but I'll let you go first.
Yeah, this is hands down. I don't have any other fire picks. I don't have any. For me, it's going to be Bosa. I don't see. I mean, he was already in the talk conversation last year, and our defense got better. I think now teams aren't going to be able to just focus on him and him one-on-one. There's not a person. I don't think there's a tackle in the league unless you're looking at our tackle that would be able to to block him one-on-one. So I think Bosa's going to destroy the league this year. I don't think it's going to be close. I think the Defensive Player of the Year is going to be him hands down, and he'll finally be able to at least hang his hat on something because they've been underrating that guy since he came in the league.
I agree. I said we both probably have the same person, so we both picked Nick Bosa. I think last year he was missed. I can't think of the word right now, but he got missed for the comeback player of the year. Didn't even get a vote, or maybe he got a couple votes, but quarterback got it. Makes sense, I guess. It's quarterback league, but his his aura. I can't say that word either. The aura he has when he's on the field and what he does for everybody on this field, we had one of the worst defensive backfields last year. He covered it up for almost single handedly.
Yeah.
He makes the whole D line above average.
Yep.
This year we have an above average D line with him, so I think it should be a great D line. They won't be able to double team him as much. I think he should have upwards of 20 sacks. Maybe possibly break the record.
I think the record.
That's the one person. That's the one person I think not on the offensive side that could get the MVP. If we have a number one defense with him breaking the sack record,
yeah,
I think that could be a change. And I think there should be some more game-changing plays this year because the defensive backfield is so improved. There should be more interceptions, which will make highlights.
Yeah.
And that's all going to look. Bosa's going to be creating those highlights.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be forcing those interceptions and putting the DBs in place to do some good things. So yeah, I agree. I think as long as they
kind of the hands down pick on my part, and I think your part too. So
yeah,
I think we're going to move on from that one
for sure.
So let's go into the what we think how the NFL is going to shake out this year. Who do you think is going to be in the AFC Championship game? And who do you think is winning the AFC Championship game?
So, again, not going to overreact from last night's game. But for me, it's kind of, I think the Bills, it's their race to lose. That being said, I think, and I'm going to go towards one of my other predictions, is I think it's going to be the Chargers and the Bills. And I think the Chargers are going to pull it out. I think they're going to surprise. Like I said, I just have a gut feeling that the Chargers they've been underlooked for way too long, and that division's tough. So I don't see them winning like the AFC title as far as like the best record or whatever. Like going in seed 1, they'll probably go in like seed 2 or 3. But I think once they get into that playoffs, I don't think I don't know. I don't see anybody beating them. It'll be a good game with them and the Bills. I think Herbert and Allen will go toe to toe, and I think.
In Allen last year.
Yeah, but I think Chargers have a better overall team on the other side of the Bills. I think the Bills have a more electric team, but I think with the run game, the defense, and everything else, I think the Chargers are just the more well put together team.
Yeah, I think one thing last year that the Bills struggled with was stopping the run. There was a couple scenes. I think the thing was it the Titans that ran them over for 200 some yards, 300 yards or something like that. It was crazy, but No, it was the Patriots on the snow game when they threw the ball like twice.
Yeah, I do remember that. They hand the ball off like 36 times in a drive or some ridiculous
Yeah,
number.
it's ridiculous. But that's the one thing that the Bills struggle with. Saying that, I don't think it's going to be a problem because the teams that I think are going to be in the AFC is the Raiders and the Bills. The Raiders do have a good running back in Josh Jacob. However, their defense is not proven yet. So I do think that the Bills will handle that, and they'll be making it to the Super Bowl. That's my thought. I think the Raiders are getting slept on in that division. I think Patrick Mahomes is getting the treatment of he's the best in the league. However, he is going to have a struggle this year without Tyreek, I think. Not a struggle like he's going to be one of the worst quarterbacks. I just think in that division, I think there's 4 good quarterbacks. Each team has 2 good defensive ends to rush.
Mm-hmm.
I think Khalil Mack is on the back 9.
Yeah,
the Raiders getting Chandler Jones. We know Chandler Jones. He plays for Arizona the last few years, and dude gets 14 sacks a year in his sleep. So
yeah, seriously.
I think the Raiders' defensive ends, kind of like Bosa effect, is going to make the defensive backs better because they're not going to have to cover as long. And I think that helps them win that division. Not the division necessarily, but to the AFC Championship.
Gets them through the playoffs. Yeah.
So that's my prediction. We'll see how it plays out. I'm sure there'll be a surprise team like the Bengals were last year. And somebody maybe the Dolphins. They got a scary looking team actually. A lot of speed.
The Miami Niners. Yeah,
exactly. That could be a team. I don't know, but I think they might make the playoffs for sure. I don't think the Patriots are gonna make the playoffs this year.
I don't know. I'd have to see. I don't think so either though. I agree with that.
They're just experimenting with stuff like
Like
we put some sodium chloride in there with some ammonia. What do we get?
Yeah,
because they got 2 defensive coordinators being their offensive coordinators.
I think Belichick's definitely in his consideration mode at this point. Like, does he want to continue to go, or is it going to take too long to rebuild again? I think he's
like a mad scientist right now. He's like, Frankenstein. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Wild,
he went from being the most exciting coach draft wise and signing wise and pickup wise to all of a sudden being freaking the complete flip the switch.
I don't know what's going on with that dude.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Hopefully, they are the Patriots, so they might win the Super Bowl. Who knows, man? Who knows?
With Belichick, you never know. I've always been it was a Brady and Belichick thing. I mean, obviously Brady left, and people are like, "Oh, he proved that's not the case." But I'm like, he left to a team that literally has 20 Pro Bowlers on it. Like, it's not like he went to Miami.
20 more followed him.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, he didn't go to some scrub team and take them to the Super Bowl, but that being said, dude's the GOAT, so I'm not gonna argue that. But
you brought up Brady, and this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But did you see the stuff that he's supposed to go to the Raiders?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
He should have been on the Niners. He would have been on the Niners 2-3 years ago.
If he had his way. Super Bowl, I think if we didn't go to the Super Bowl the year prior, he may have been a 49er.
Yeah, for sure.
John Gruden might deserve to be fired.
Yep.
If Tom Brady was supposed to come to the Raiders. That's real.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because, with Tom Brady, like I just said, 20 more Pro Bowlers followed him. So he would have got Gronk. You'd have Gronk and Waller. We know what Tom Brady does with 2 tight ends.
He definitely fumbled that one. There's no question there. We can say the Niners did, but we had, like you said, we had just went to a Super Bowl, so it wasn't like we were coming off a disappointing season and we didn't go out and grab him and he, when he wanted to be there. So we had every reason not to, where the Raiders had every reason to do it and they didn't. So
it's wild. All right, so getting out of the AFC, which neither one of us like talking about, so let's talk about the NFC. Who do you have going to the NFC Championship game, and who do you have winning it?
So, I mean, kind of obvious who I have winning the game, and that's not just being a fan. That's just being fucking football smart. But so I genuinely think the Packers still do their thing this year. I think they still end up probably being the number 1 seed in the NFC. They probably go like 14-3, but then they again meet us in the NFC Championship, like they typically tend to do, or in the playoffs, and we do our thing. I think Trey shows out. It's going to be a repeat of what Cap did to him, and it's going to be a Niners NFC Championship win.
All right, before I go into mine, I saw a YouTube video yesterday or the day before, and it was Aaron Rodgers was on a podcast, and they asked him a question. They said, "I think when you got drafted, you said that the Niners would regret not drafting you. How does 4-0 make them regret it?" And I'm like, first of all, the balls on that dude that asked him face to face, asking that question was hilarious. But then Aaron Rodgers said, "Have they won a Super Bowl in the last 18 years?" All right, fair. That's fair.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Take that. It's fair play. However, he ended the segment with, "They're 4-0." And I just like, they're so true. Like, I think we maybe lost to Aaron Rodgers twice in the last 10 years.
Yeah, that I can recall. Yeah, and it was when on our like years that we weren't really.
Years. There was one when Nick Mullins started.
Yeah.
I think the other one was either the year Cap was injured, or
it was. I think that like he was injured and not injured. It was that year that like he was getting benched because of the way he was playing, but he was playing the way he was playing because he was playing through injury. So I think it was our down years for sure. Then I never at any point when we were clicking did the Packers even like a little bit scare me. I mean, that game, obviously last year's game, like it was a close game, and definitely was some plays that we made that won us that game. I don't think
it went. We missed too, like Kittle dropped a touchdown pass in the first drive of the game. Like, that hurts.
But yeah, so we definitely have the Packers number. That's for sure.
Game, for sure. Yeah, but yeah, I think we got that number too. My pick for the NFC Championship game is not going to be the Green Bay Packers. So I have to see this first couple weeks. But I think Ryan is going to be the Buccaneers versus the 49ers. The only reason I got to see it is because they lost Ndamukong Suh. So I don't know what their defense looks like in the middle.
Yeah.
But that offense still looks dangerous. They still got Tom Brady. He still has all the answers to the test. He's cheating.
Yeah.
He's reading his text messages while he's bubbling in answers. So I don't know how they don't make it to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Saying that, the Niners, I do believe, top to bottom, are on a different level than everybody in the NFC. Our offensive weapons aren't as potent as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. However, they fit the scheme so well that I think if Trey even plays good, the offense is unstoppable.
Yeah.
If he plays above average, the league needs to watch out.
Yeah. We're going to be
complete 70%
running through some teams. Yeah.
Like, he's going to throw deeper. I think Ayuk is going to have a year. I think Ayuk is going to be the best receiver this year. I think he's going to have 1,200 plus yards and 8 touchdowns, possibly 10. I don't think Debo is going to have that many yards. I think Debo is going to be not receiving. I think he'll have all-purpose yards about the same.
Yeah.
But I think Ayuk is going to be the surprise. And then you still have Kittle running over the middle. And then our run game is our run game. It always works. I don't know how it does, but it does. No matter who we plug back there.
That blocking scheme that Shanahan does, like it's insane. You watch that, like how it goes. They're pulling freaking Trent Williams. They got centers pulling out to hook the ends. Like they do some crazy stuff, but it works. Like Steph.
putting Debo in the backfield last year was a surprise. But then even when we watched the games, it was like, oh, why don't you throw it to him? And then now I hear like, oh, they're throwing it to him out of the backfield now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, okay, so it's him versus a linebacker. Linebacker ain't covering him.
No.
And then you got Trent Williams in motion.
Yeah, exactly.
You can do so much for that.
It's insane. Speaking of that, it's a little off topic, but Debo, they have a Debo package on the new Madden game. I was so excited for that, dude. I was like, yes.
I haven't played Madden. I think the last one I bought was 2016.
Yeah,
since everybody's complaints about it. Like, the graphics are exactly the same since like 2012.
Oh yeah, they add like 2 or 3 new features, and it's the same game as the year before. I only ever buy it. I haven't bought it for like 3-4 years, but I bought it this year for that reason. I was like trying to play Madden the 2020 game. I don't forget what it was, and I'm like, I need to have the game with Debo. I need to put him at running back. I need to do this kind of stuff. And I was like, gotta go get this game. So
that's all the fun in it.
Yeah.
So I think we both have a Super Bowl that includes the Bills and the 49ers.
Yeah.
How do you see that going?
So if it goes Bills-Niners, I think. I mean, obviously, I feel the Niners, and again, being a football fan, like you said earlier, you kind of touched on it. On all facets of it, even special teams at this point, like we upgraded that. We added some key players, Burks, Odom, guys that have been studs on the special teams. And watching Wisnowski, this even the preseason, like the punt team, the kickoff team, like it was operating at what you would expect it to. With that, it plays into our favor because field position, running the ball, keeping Trey comfortable, with the run game and kind of all these small little interchangeable players and stuff that we can kind of move around and do our thing with. I don't see teams being able to stop that. Like, if you're having to go 80 plus yards against this defense, like it's not going to happen very often. You're going to have to get lucky that you have the ball in your hands for long enough to a receiver to get open. That's just not going to be very, very frequently with the defensive line we have. And just like I said, playing that ball control type of game. I mean, we run the ball, we do our thing with Trey, and teams decide they want to go in and put people in the box and try to stop that. Trey just opens it up over the top. So I don't see any team in the league going in the AFC against the Niners, even if it wasn't the Bills, even if it's the Chargers, which is another team that I think could potentially make that run. I don't even see them being able to put a fight up. It would be nice to see a Bosa Bowl, though. That'd be pretty. That'd be pretty awesome.
Actually, that'd be pretty good. I'm in agreement with you. I just don't see a team in the NFL today that's physical enough to match the 49ers on what they're going to do to them offensively. So the Niners are just going to run through your face. And then, we do have a guy who can throw it 80 yards on a rope.
Yep.
Pretty accurately. And the defensive side of the ball is where I think nobody's going to keep up with us. I don't see even if it's the Bills, Josh Allen ain't going to run around and get 80 yards rushing like he did last night.
No.
It's not a one-trick pony here. The linebacking core is easily probably one of the best.
If not the best, they're going to surprise some people this year for sure. I think. Yeah,
smack in the mouth.
Yep.
Greenlaw smack in the mouth.
Yeah, Greenlaw's going to suplex you.
Yeah, this team is a lot of speed on the defensive side too. Greenlaw's fast. Greenlaw's not slow. Aziz is fast, not slow. Warner's, he was a safety in college. He's fast.
Oh, yeah. That dude.
Covered anybody outside of, receivers. I can cover some receivers. So
What's crazy is that defensive line the way it is. You can go run a zone scheme, let the defensive line do their thing, and Fred Warner in a zone scheme, he covers like a good hash to hash, like alone. Like you can't. You
got the defensive line is 10 deep.
Yeah,
it's not like you have Bosa.
it's rotation. That
got Eric Armstead, Kerry Hyder's had years for us in the past.
I think Kinlaw's going to have a good season, barring injury. I think he's going to tear some stuff up too.
He's going to be a run stopper for sure.
Yeah.
You got Drake Jackson. By the end of the season, I'm expecting him to kind of have that Alden Smith type package where it's the first year he's just rushing.
Yep.
And I think he can get close to 10 sacks this year too. And by the end of the season, he should be clicking.
Yep.
I don't know. I just don't see anybody scoring more than 20 points on the 49ers regularly, especially at the end of the season, barring injury, of course. But close to the end of the season, I don't see anybody scoring more than 20. Last year we scored, I think, 17 in the NFC Championship game, and the only reason we lost is because Jimmy's arm was hanging on by a thread and held together by spit, duct tape, and glue.
Yeah.
So I just don't see anybody beating the 49ers this year. They look hungry. They sound hungry. People who are around the team regularly, Richard Sherman being one of the main ones, it's like, yo, this team's winning the Super Bowl this year. Like, I'm calling it now. He doesn't. I know it seems like he talks crazy and he's brash with what he says, but
dude is smart. That dude is a football. His IQ is insane. As a Niner fan, obviously we had our fun with him in the early years of his career, but it was never an issue for me. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, dude was smart as shit. He was what he was for a reason, and hearing him talk the way he talks about the Niners, it gets me excited because I'm like, dude knows his football, and there's a few people in the league that know football that are finally, I think, opening their eyes and starting to recognize the Niners a little bit. I did like at one point want to talk about that too. You heard about it all last season during the playoffs. Like, us coming into the building, we were dancing, we were vibing. Like, there was always that feeling. There was always a feeling that the Niners were there to play. Like, they weren't going to go out easy. It wasn't going to be no walk in the park. And there's Cowboys fans that were like, we knew the Niners were going to win the second they walked out from the tunnel. Like,
we watched the game. We watched the game at a Cowboys house, and he told us, he was like, "Yo, y'all going to win this game."
Yeah, it was that mentality and that work ethic and just that drive that we had that season. I think is going to spill over to you this year because we've been so close so much. This team has touched, reached their hand out so many times. Now that they have the other pieces around them to take that pressure off of them a little bit, now they can go out there, they can have fun, they can go play ball, and it's gonna be fun to watch. As a Niner fan, it's gonna be exciting.
I'm excited. I'm super excited. Before we go into the next thing, I'm gonna say a couple things here. Just if you're supporting us, we appreciate everything you've done for us at this point. I think we had over 400 views in 2 weeks. We haven't even really put out a real video. And we appreciate everybody supporting us to this point and continue support. So if you do like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for us. We'll be putting out more videos like this and different videos going forward. We have a couple live streams planned. So just keep supporting us as much as you can. We're going to get cleaner with this, better with this. This is our second video, second time we sat down to record.
Yeah,
so we appreciate everything y'all done for us to this point, or not done for us, but we appreciate the support you guys are showing us.
Yeah.
And then also, we did reach 50 subscribers last weekend, which was our goal. We're still trying to get to the 100 mark by the end of September, I would say. If we get there by the end of September, that would be excellent. That would be wow, how we get there so fast. But we got to 50 last weekend. I told y'all we would give a $50 giveaway away. So I had some names in here. I think the ones that we put in here are everybody who has commented on a post so far. Going forward, we'll put out the stipulations of how to get in these drawings. And if you don't meet all the stipulations to get in, we won't put your name in the bucket. So this time we kind of gave a freebie. But going forward, we're going to get better. we expect you to follow the drawing rules. That way we can make sure it's fair. All right, so here we go.
Drum roll.
I know. I really want to pick this. I get $50, man.
All right.
Gas tank. Oh yeah, who did this? So the winner is 4 Hour 9. Oh wow, you can't see that. But I'm gonna need you to reach out to us, comment in this video, your email for me, so we can email you and get with you and send you your money. We appreciate you supporting us, entering our contest, liking everything. We appreciate it. Now going forward to the next topic.
Yes, sir.
49ers predictions. So, do you think we'll win the division?
Our division, yes. I didn't. I should have said I didn't. I wasn't sure how our division was going to be, just because our division is always competitive. I mean, that's like a given, and we've tended to do the best when we're not on top of the division. Like we get into the playoffs and I have that chip on our shoulder is kind of a good thing. So I was leaning towards I'm cool with second place, even third place if we make, as long as we make the playoffs. But just looking at everything on paper now, and obviously there'll be a few games we can kind of get a better visual of that. But the Rams they never scared me. I mean, we play well against the Rams. We always have. So I was never worried about them. But they're always competitive. The Cardinals, depending on D Hop and how that all goes, and how Murray plays. But I don't see anybody in our division. Seahawks are not going to be anything unless they somehow pull off a Jimmy trade. They're not going to be competitive. So realistically, like, I don't see anybody in our division even coming close. I always liked the fact that our division was good every year, and it was fun to be like, oh, we made it out of that division. But I think there's going to be a clear separation. I think, man, the Rams probably still win 11 or 12 games. I'm not saying they're going to be horrible, but I think we win the division pretty definitively, and then we go into the playoffs.
So I'm there too. I think last night kind of cleared that path for me.
Yeah.
Watching the Rams, like, they didn't lose to a bad team.
No,
they weren't losing the whole. It was a close game until like the end of the third quarter.
Until it wasn't.
Maybe in the early fourth quarter, I think it was like a pick, and then it was over at that point. But
yeah,
the team we struggled with was Seahawks, and it wasn't the Seahawks necessarily. It was Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
Russell Wilson threw for negative 55 yards in the first half.
Yeah,
and still find a way to win the game. That guy's gone. He's in the AFC now. So, I think that the 49ers will win this division. I think that they'll win it. I think they're going to win between 13 and 14 games.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 13. I think we'll go 13 and 4. Probably be the number 2 seed in the NFC.
Yeah.
With Jimmy G as the backup, that only also solidified everything, because my thought was, what if Trey gets hurt? Nate Sudfeld at the time. What he would have been our backup had Jimmy G not agreed to be our backup.
No, yeah, it was his job. His job to lose. I think obviously Jimmy G's the better choice out of the two, and then you kind of have to go up Purdy at that point. He's young. We really don't know what his. What he has to the table. I think if he would have went to the practice squad, somebody would have went and picked him up just for the fact that he is.
Season, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I just think having Jimmy G in the building only betters the team.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, it hurts Trey's confidence, or this is the NFL. If it hurts his confidence, we ain't gonna win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Win a Super Bowl, and we won't win a Super Bowl.
No.
He's confident in himself. He's ready to go. The team's ready to go. I think the division's ours. I think we'll go 13 and 4. I don't see unless there's an injury to one of our major players. And I think the front office did a good enough job with this team that even if we have a injury to one of our major players, we can still overcome that.
Yeah.
I don't think any one player has like a couple years ago when Bosa got hurt. When Bosa got hurt, that season was like,
yeah, it kind of,
it's rough at this point.
Yep.
But we also had 3 or 4 injuries at the time, so I think even if Bosa got injured this year, which I hope to God he doesn't, even if he did, I think this team is built to overcome that.
Yeah.
I think if Fred Warner got hurt, this team is built to overcome that.
Uh-huh.
I think if Trey Lance got hurt, with Jimmy G in the back, the team is built to overcome that.
Yeah.
I just don't see they're not the Rams. The Rams are top heavy. So if Cooper Kupp gets hurt,
yeah, who else is there? I mean, it was clear during that game. That was kind of one of those things too that opened my eyes a little bit. I mean, for the receiving core, Robinson's not a bad receiver, but it was clear that if it wasn't for Kupp, like that game would have gotten a lot worse, a lot quicker.
Yes.
For them. So,
and if like Darnold gets hurt, Donald.
Yeah, Darnold.
Gosh, I can't talk right now. If he gets hurt, they're struggling.
Yeah. Yeah.
That he is the D line. Their O line, our O line is probably our weakest link. Their O line, not much better, and they don't have to face the 49ers.
Yeah.
So, I think Bosa's gonna,
he's gonna eat this year for sure.
Right?
Yeah, he's gonna eat. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think we're gonna be built for the wintertime Super Bowl. I think we're ready.
Yeah.
Who do you think the team MVP will be?
I think it's gonna go to Trey. I think Trey goes out there. I mean, they talk about his leadership already. They talk about his how comfortable he is, how confident he is, and especially if we go to the Super Bowl, there's no question. I mean, they can't at that point. Like he clearly was the piece that took us over that mountaintop. But even if we didn't, honestly, like if we performed and we played well, and the expectation is obviously not Super Bowl for everybody. But even without that Super Bowl, he elevates the team. He elevates the players around him. He elevates that offensive scheme. I mean, he allows Shanahan to dig now on the other half of the playbook that he hadn't been able to open up yet. So I think with all of that, like he's gonna be that guy. I don't think there's a person on that team that's not gonna not vote for him. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think if we go to the Super Bowl, if we do what we think the 49ers could do this year, yeah, I just don't see how he doesn't exceed everybody's expectations. Like I have him going for 25 touchdowns, less than 10 interceptions, and over 3,600 yards. I don't know how the 17th game's going to play into it yet, so that's why I've said over 3,600. Last year was the first year we had that, so I'm thinking he'll be in the 38 to 4,000 range.
Yeah, I'm thinking low fours. I'm thinking that it's going to be. I think it's going to start off slow, but I think it's gonna push into that 42, 4,300 mark.
Yeah, I think the thing that's going to make him different, and why I think he'll be the MVP, is on the goal line. He'll have maybe not even the goal line, maybe inside of 20. He'll have a couple more touchdowns. So I think he'll have 4 or 5 rushing touchdowns.
Yep.
And that's going to make defenses stop. Because now they have to spy him.
Yeah.
And 2, it's just going to open up the playbook for Kyle. And it's going to get crazy.
It's one of those things where play action, which is what we do a lot of, is going to open up like crazy, because not only do you have to worry about the running back getting the ball, you have to worry about it being a play action and Trey, rolling out to the outside and getting that run out around the tackle. So it kind of brings everybody closer, and you let Kittle and Debo and Ayuk do their thing when they're route running, and one of those guys is going to be open right off that play action. It's just going to be a guy in Trey's face and a little dump off, and it's nobody behind them because everybody's looking for that run. So
Yeah, I'm just excited. I can't wait for Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Sunday. Let's get into that. So how do you see the defense playing on Sunday?
I think it's going to be early and often they're going to be in this guy's face. I know a lot of people are talking about how confident the Bears are right now, and the comments that the Bears players have made, and all this talk about Fields and we passed him up and blah blah blah. I don't doubt that he'll have not a bad game. He's going to have a 200-yard maybe, not a horrible game, but I do think he's going to get sacked often. I think it's going to fluster him a little bit, which is going to, that's going to open up that pick game for us. I think that we have a few injuries, so that's going to play a factor. But I think on the D line though, we're pretty solid, and our front seven is there ready to go. So I don't really think at that point, like you said, similar to the Raiders, it don't matter what DBs we have back there because our front seven is going to be in that dude's face all game, and running the ball is going to be out the picture, so it's going to get put in his hands. And he's a second player just like Trey, but I don't think he's capable. He's not ready yet to take a team on his back and carry that through, especially against a physical team like the Niners, who are going to smack them in the mouth just as much as they want to smack back. So
agreed. I think the only question mark going into this weekend is safety. Jimmy Ward's not back there. That's a question mark. However, that defensive line is going to be all over him. And agreed. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball. They might get 50 yards, 60 yards, but not enough to make everybody worry about the run. Nick Bosa's going to have his ears back, pinned back. He's coming after him. I'm agreeing. 4 or 5 sacks. I think not for Nick Bosa, but for the team.
For the team, yeah.
For the team this week. And I'm gonna say 2 interceptions.
Okay.
2 interceptions. I don't think they're freak plays either. I don't think they're tips. I think they're rush throws. He's been getting hit too much. I think I think our DBs are covering really tightly right now.
Yeah.
As we heard, Ayuk couldn't get open, and we saw what Ayuk was doing to the best DBs in the league last year, making them look silly.
Yeah.
So
he's
not getting open. Skates. I don't feel like anybody's going to get open on this team. They don't have a Devontae Adams or a Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Somebody that's just going to take over like that. So I just think it's going to be a turnover frenzy. And the Niners always come out the first game with so much excitement.
Yeah.
So Fred Warner is going to be flying around smacking people. My guess is going to be 34-14.
Yeah, that was close to what I was thinking. I was thinking like 31-17, somewhere in that realm. So
yeah, I think we're gonna run the ball a lot. I think Trey Lance will throw like 18 times, 18, 20 times. I don't think he's gonna have to throw a whole lot because I don't think we're gonna be in that type of game.
Yeah,
I think he'll have a couple of deep shots. Maybe the first play of the game will be a deep shot. But if you don't know hey, this guy's real.
This guy's here, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised from, play action deep to Ayuk right off the bat.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this now because I know this is gonna happen. People are gonna overreact. I know this is the type of game it's gonna be, and it's gonna be this game probably for a few games. But I think he's gonna have an average game. He'll have a 200, 250. He'll have 2 touchdowns. He might run for 60, 70 yards. On those first down runs, and get a few of those. He might break a couple of plays or something, but he's not going to do nothing crazy. The numbers aren't going to be flashy. We're going to go out there. We're going to dominate just off of physicality, and the comments are going to come in. Well, if he's doing those numbers, that's what Jimmy did. Why did they upgrade? Blah blah blah. They're gonna start trickling in. So I want this to be known right now on this live. I'm saying they're gonna do this, but it's not. It's done intentionally. It's anytime you have a young quarterback, anytime you have someone who has the amount of pressure he does have on his shoulders is regardless of how they went around it, it's pressure. He's going into a good team. He's going in behind. There's a lot of expectations coming to him. So with that, he looks calm. He looks relaxed. I'm not worried about that, but I know as a coach, you have to have that in the back of your head. You have to give him an opportunity to kind of get things going and get the team going and kind of feel that vibe throughout the season, and then open it up and let him do his thing. So I think it's going to start slow in that sense, but it'll pick up steam along the season, and he'll be the comments will slowly start to dimmer down, and it's going to be just the haters popping up here and there talking whatever. But
I always think about it, it's like I hate when people get like that. Oh, he throws for 200 yards, 250 yards. Tell me which quarterback came into the league throwing 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, and went to the Super Bowl and won.
Yeah, he's a rookie. I mean, Shanahan said it. There's no. Yeah, he's a second-year player, but this is his first year as the starting quarterback. Not, right. He started a couple of games last year, but he was never that guy. There was never that expectation. And anytime you bring a rookie in, you don't go there and throw him out there and say you're going to throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. This is not ever the expectation. The expectation is don't lose this game. Play a comfortable and control the game and get some wins in. Get some wins under your belt. And
in 2001 was 180 to 220 yard quarterback a game, and he had a quarterback behind him that was a starter.
Yeah,
that would have thrown for 500 yards if you let him.
Yeah,
so it's like that doesn't win games. Like
it's about the wins.
People get mad at Jimmy. Jimmy doesn't throw for the stats. Jimmy wins games.
Yeah.
And we all know, like, you play football, I play football a little bit. We know that football is not all physicality. It's your brain. You got to use. It's a strategic game.
Yep.
If you make a mistake and throw a turnover, an interception, if you can overcome the negative thoughts, the next time you come out and score, it's okay. But if you can't, most quarterbacks that struggle, they throw an interception, they come out and then they compound that, and then they try to do too much and they throw another interception or they fumble or turnover. Really, kick the ball 3 and out real quick. It's like when you don't do those things, you give yourself a chance. You're gonna make mistakes in this league. You're playing against the best football players in the whole world.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily a mistake. You might make a good throw, but a defensive back makes a great play.
Yep.
It's going to happen. He's going to make mistakes, throw these interceptions. He's going to fumble once or twice. As long as he doesn't compound it, I don't think this team will let him compound it, but I think as long as he doesn't compound it, this team will go to the Super Bowl and do what they got to do. I don't see the Bears as a threat, honestly. I think for Trey Lance, that's a good first game.
Yeah, for sure.
Go in and get his feet wet. I know last year he played against the Houston Texans, played really well. I just think this would be a good first game because I don't think he's going to start, like you said, as fast as people think. I think he needs a few games where he's throwing 250.
Yeah.
Kind of, just pedestrian numbers.
He's gonna look the game manager part. He'll look the game manager part until he doesn't. It's gonna be a very he's just like Jimmy. He's just like Jimmy. Then all of a sudden it's gonna be he threw for 450 yards and had 4 touchdowns, and they're like, oh, this is why. So
and that's what I think too. I'm not expecting a Patrick Mahomes type season. I don't think.
No.
I said 26 to 30 touchdowns. I think what we'll be at, and I'm thinking that's going to be throwing and rushing. I don't think it's just going to be throwing. But even with that, that'll be fine because our run game is so good. And the defense is so good. So
and now, like I said, and our special teams. Like I think that's going to be that's for me is the biggest thing. That's the most thing I'm excited about is playing that the position football. You put yourself in a shorter field and you make them work for it. I think that's going to play a huge factor this year.
Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be it's going to be bigger than I expected. I think last year showed us how big special teams was with just the Packers game. So
Yeah.
I think with special teams this year, with Trey, it's only going to help us. We saw with Jim Harbaugh what a good special teams could do.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
just think having the field possession with this young quarterback, don't put him next to, back in the 10-yard line consistently. Give him good field possession. Let the field be open for him. I think that this team is going to surprise a lot of people. Not us, because we know
Yeah.
this team. But
Yeah.
the national media doesn't know this team. And they
And there's some
just go
people
off
out
of
there
the
starting to
words they say.
recognize it a little bit, but it's
Right.
definitely not where it should be, but it will be. It'll get there.
Yeah, I was watching Pat McAfee show the other day, and Darius Butler was like kind of appalled that they were ranked number 3. Like, you're looking at the quarterback. Look at the whole rest of the team.
That's
Like,
it. Yep.
if the quarterback is even with Jimmy G, we're the 3rd best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
If he's a little bit better than Jimmy G, we're the best team in the NFL.
That elevates us to the best. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But that's all I got for today.
Yes, sir.
You got anything else?
That's it, man. I'm looking forward to Sunday. I'm gonna get this work day off today and start prepping.
I gotta work tonight, so
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got tonight, so get tonight done, and then get some rest tomorrow and be ready for Sunday.
Absolutely. So you'll be here. We're gonna live stream from my living room. We're gonna be watching the game. We're gonna have a couple people call in. So tune in. It's not just gonna be Niner football that day. We got a couple Cowboy fans that might call in, a Jets fan that might call in, maybe a Bears fan or two.
Yeah, we're working on a Bears fan for sure. He's trying to get his work week schedule, work day situated, but he might call in for a few minutes, kind of get some dialogue in with him.
So if you're watching this and want to join us on Sunday and you're a fan of somebody not the 49ers or even the 49ers, comment.
Come on over.
Let us know what team you're rooting for, what time they're playing, and we'll get you in. All right, y'all. I'm out.
Later.